What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Trail and Travel channel. My name's Erica, and I am taking you through our incredible Icelandic road trip. So this is the second video in our series, and we are focusing this video on the Snaefellsnes Peninsula, and also the Snaefellsjokull National Park. Our first stop on this whole adventure up to the Snaefellsnes Peninsula was the Eldborg crater. Now this is about a 4-mile hike, and we did not end up doing this one. This was our heavy road trip day, so we decided to omit this one out of our adventures because we were also seeing a crater later on in the day. So we drove to it, we saw it from a distance, but we did not end up hiking it. From this crater, we decided to go to the Black Church, which is also called the Budakirkja. There's a hotel and there's a church in this tiny little town, and that's about all there is. So we decided to go explore the Black Church, which was originally built in the early 1700s, but has since been rebuilt multiple times, the latest being 1987. And honestly, in pictures, I feel like this church looks a lot bigger, but it's actually this really cute, quaint, tiny little black church. This church is also well known for weddings, and there happened to be a wedding going on while we were there as well. There is not a whole lot in this town like I had mentioned earlier, so luckily enough, we were able to get a bite to eat at the Hotel Búðir, and honestly, really great food here. We got some really great coffee and this incredible view of a beautiful waterfall as well. This waterfall is called the Búðir Falls. This happened to be our first waterfall hike that we did, and oh my gosh, it was incredible. So after we ate, we decided to head over to this waterfall and hike up as close as we could to it. And the higher up we got towards this waterfall, the more intense the wind became. So at one point we felt like we were gonna fly off the mountain, and that's when we decided to call it. But it was incredible watching the wind whip the water of the waterfall right off and evaporate it into the air. That hike was about 1.3 miles. It really wasn't anything too intense. Most of the intensity comes from the incline that you're climbing, and if it is really windy or really muddy, it can be slightly dangerous. So this might not be a hike for everyone, but you can definitely walk up to the bottom of the waterfall and really soak in the beauty there. After hiking that incredible waterfall, we decided to go to this beautiful gorge that I found, the Raudfjallsgil Gorge. It's about, I would say, a mile hike. It's right off the main highway in the Snaefellsnes Peninsula, and it's right before the Snaefellsjokull National Park. You can clearly see it right off the main road. There will be a ton of cars in the parking lot, but it is incredibly worth it to go check this out. You can actually hike into this little gorge and see the waterfall that's deep within it, and it's just incredible. Highly recommend doing it. Even though there are gonna be a ton of tourists, it's really beautiful. Definitely go check it out. For this hike specifically, I highly recommend bringing waterproof shoes. You are going to be stepping on rocks and little tiny boulders inside the river, and there is a chance that your foot may slip. Everyone's just kind of climbing over each other inside this little gorge, so I highly recommend bringing waterproof shoes to do this, or expect your feet to be a little bit wet by the end. From there, we went into the Snaefellsjokull National Park area, and this is not like any national park here in the US. This is open to everyone, and I think it's just a protected area. We decided to start our experience in the Snaefellsjokull National Park at the Landrengir sea cliffs or viewpoints. This was a really cool spot. The sea cliffs in this area are quite immense and very black. It's just the stark contrast of the greenery and the blue sea and the black rock, and it's just incredible. Definitely recommend going and checking it out. Again, this was a super windy day, so we definitely felt that, but it was worth just diving into all the elements of Iceland. Next, we went to another part of the Snaefellsjokull National Park, where they had sea cliffs. This was up the road maybe about 10-15 minutes, and we saw some more sea cliffs up there, and they were just incredible. At this point, we could have hiked down to the black sand beach, but we decided against it. Again, that wind was just so insane, so we decided to return back to the car and make our way to the Snaefellsjokull crater. This was so cool, and this happened to be our first crater experience while we were in Iceland. And this specific crater has stairs all the way up to the top, which we counted, of course. It definitely makes this attraction more doable for a wider variety of people. So I highly recommend checking this out. This is an old volcanic crater, and it's just beautiful. You can see other volcanic craters in the distance and volcanic cones, and it's just really cool. Definitely a touristy spot, but it's a part of the national park, so you gotta do it, right? One way, one direction, how much is it?
374.
374
Times
steps up to the top of the Snaefellsjokull crater. Just like that. 10-minute stop, in, out, we are done. From here, we finished the loop around the Snæfellsnes Peninsula. We stopped in a little town and had some fish and chips at a local eatery, and found another little rainbow road. So that was our second rainbow road of the day. The Snaefellsnes Peninsula had so many different waterfalls that you could see while you were just driving. From there, we cut back down and we stayed at the Eidhus Apartments. This was the first night we were completely out of the city, and we were really hoping to see the northern lights. So we stayed up pretty late, and we were just looking out the back deck and seeing if we could see them. So we walked outside of the parking lot and into more darker areas, and this was our first experience with the northern lights. We stayed up for hours just shooting photos of the intensely beautiful aurora borealis, and we were freaking out the whole time. It was such a fun experience. It was so cold, and a lot of the times we would spend 15-20 minutes outside shooting them, go into the apartment and warm up for a second, and then come back out. And we probably did that 3 or 4 times, just really trying to capture and experience the northern lights, and it was so incredible. So that is going to wrap up this Snaefellsnes Peninsula video. There are going to be more videos in this series, like I have said. I'm just breaking up our Iceland trip into smaller bite-sized pieces because so much happened during those 7 days, and I want to make sure I share all of it with you. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below which one of these was your favorite spots that we visited. Let me know if you've been to Iceland, and if you have been to any of these spots, I would love to hear about your experience. Remember to subscribe to my channel to continue watching the series of Icelandic videos that I have for you. Thank you for watching. Bye.